And we're live here in the broadcast booth. Guys, we want to thank you for tuning into tonight's contest, the first of two here on the Battlefield Sports Network. It's been about 3 weeks since our last broadcast, believe it or not. So we're super excited to get back in the booth here on the road at John Champe. We've been here before to do some games. John Champe is a very nice and friendly school to allow us the opportunity to come and stream for you guys here for free on YouTube. This is Matt Venezia. To my right, Nate George. Nate, we're looking forward to a good one here with girls basketball.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game tonight. The girls are coming off a nice winter break to spend alone, not much action, and Coach DeHaven says they're looking to have a hot start to the new year.
It's going to be a good one, no doubt about it. The Bobcats, as you mentioned, looking to halt a little bit of a skid they have here. You see the introductions going on to the left part of your screen, the John Champe Knights coming into town. It's pretty loud here with this music. We'll show you what's going on right now. We'll talk for a little bit here, and then we'll step away once we get to the live action. But as you mentioned, you know, Battlefield coming into this first matchup of the new year, looking to find their game. I've mentioned their three-point shots have been their leading attribute to the offense, and they're just looking to find that tonight against Champe.
Yeah, something they've had a lot of success with in past games is their fast pace of offense, really getting the ball up the court without really much time to slow down. And other defenses really haven't been able to stop it, and honestly that's really all started with Kat Jenks and many other key players on the team.
That's a good name to mention, Kat Jenks. She's been absolutely phenomenal for Battlefield. She was shut down, though, the last game when they played against Osborne Park that we were at to broadcast. But coming off the bench, Anna Campe hit the only 2 threes of the night for Battlefield. She kind of sparked the offense a little bit. Expect her to get some looks tonight for the Bobcats. And we should see hopefully a good one here with Battlefield. And then, guys, stick around with us. At 7:30, it'll be myself and Nate back on the air for some boys basketball here against the Knights. It'll be a doubleheader tonight. We're super excited for that. And, you know, we're looking forward to some good action here with the Knights and the Bobcats. With the music dialing down here a little bit, we'll get set for the opening tip. In the opening tip for Battlefield, it is Keithia and Galeza. And for the John Champe Knights, it's Jordan Wilson, the junior. And here we go on the opening tip. We are underway here on the road to Champe right away. Kat Jenks barreling down the lane with some contact. It's rebounded by the Knights, and here they come up the floor. It's Grace Taylor to the open wing. Ellie Faley laying it off the glass and in, and the Knights quickly off and running with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Battlefield looked to have a quick start right there, and a questionable no call was not called, but ball's already on the upside of the court, and Keithia's got the ball going under.
Keithia with a nice look to Reese Birch, looking to lay it off the glass. She could not. Wilson on the rebound. It comes loose, and Ellie Favis has it. A wide open look. A full court pass is good. That's Galindo with the shot, and right away, 2 layups are good for John Champe, and they're off and running. Make it 4-0 for the home John Champe Knights. Jenks, meanwhile, pulls up with a few bounces off the glass. Birch on the rebound. More contact, though. No call being made, and Reagan Moore has the rebound. On a bounce, Jenks gets a steal. Kat barreling on in, a wide open layup, and Kat gets it to fall. The Bobcats are on the board.
Very similar to that style I talked about that Battlefield would approach with tonight. That fast pace is something Champe's actually been able to use and get those quick 4 points. So be curious to see how this game turns out.
Galindo kicks it to the wing. That 3 is good by Haley Yee. The first 3-pointer of the night for either side, and John Champe with a 7-2 lead, 1:20 in. And we get a quick stoppage. It's going to be a travel on Battlefield, and here comes an inbound for John Champe. Reagan Moore on a bounce. It'll be the point guard for tonight's matchup for John Champe, Ellie Favis with the ball, and she hands it off here to Galindo. And she'll take it now by the right wing. On a bounce inside, nice pass back to Galindo, and she couldn't quite finish. Monroe Bryant with the rebound. Monroe, she's been hot with a 3-point shot here in the season. She'll be looking to get some shots to fall for Battlefield. So it'll be a Battlefield inbound here for Julia Mitchell. She hits Monroe Bryant. And now the Bobcats will look to get back on the board here, trailing by 5, nearly 3 minutes old here on the road. Monroe off the glass, couldn't get it to fall. Keithia on the rebound. Post move, too much on that one. The Knights with the rebound. They're going to say it's Battlefield ball because of the Knights stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, a name we don't usually hear. That Matt just said, Julia Mitchell, a very good and powerful contender on defense really gets the ball stopped when the Bobcats need it.
Jenks' spin around shot was blocked. She comes in on the paint and gets fouled. Cat will head to the line with the Bobcats looking for some points. They trail 7-2. Once again, this is Matt Venezia and Nate George with you guys on the air. Emma Thomas helping us out in the press box, doing the camera work. And down on the sideline, Tommy Seiss getting some video and pictures for you guys on social media later tonight. You know, a few games ago, Cat Jenks put up 17 points, and I believe all of them were from the free throw line, so she's a very consistent shooter for the Bobcats. She's at the line right now, but she goes 0 for 2, and I think we're going to have a free throw violation on Battlefield, so either way it wasn't going to count as Jenks was not able to convert. Galindo on the inbound, guarded heavily by Monroe Bryant, and now the Knights will take it up for an offensive possession. Here on the handoff, Reagan Moore. Back to the top of the key, now looking inside. Nice feed to the open spot. Beautiful. Haley Yee adds on to the lead. It's 9-2 for the hosting John Champe Knights. They're quickly off and running here against Battlefield.
Yeah, the ball movement that the Knights have been using right now is really what's led to a lot of their success. And the Bobcats turn it right around with a Reese Birch layup.
As you mentioned, Birch there. A nice pass by Jenks actually to the open corner, and Reese just took it all the way down to the basket and was able to lay it off the glass. Reese hits her first field goal of the night, and now Battlefield's deficit is just 5. Meanwhile, here the Knights trying to get something going. Yee feeds it inside for Wilson. On a bounce, aggressive hand there by Julia Mitchell. She gets a good hand on it. Battlefield making some substitutions as well as the Knights, as some new bodies check in for both sides.
Yeah, there again we see that good defense that I talked about by Julia Mitchell. Again, a really undervalued threat that Battlefield has.
Nice feed over the middle. Keithio with a good physical presence. The shot would not fall. Jenks, meanwhile, coming across the midline. And now Battlefield will set up shot, looking for some more points. Birch got it back from Monroe Bryant. Cutting inside now. Inside the paint. She's trying to get her own rebound. She does a good job of it, but then the Knights come away with the steal. Zara Katadia able to feed it now for Galindo. Now back to Katazia. Looking back for Galindo. Birch got the steal. Could be a fast break opportunity for Battlefield. Nice recovery, though, by Tatiana Galindo, and now she takes it up the floor. Here comes a 3 on the way. That time it rims in. Ellie Favis hits the triple, the second of the night for John Champe. And nearing the halfway mark of quarter number 1, it's an 8-point lead for the hosting Knights. Meanwhile, Mitchell kicks Monroe Bryant's 3, missing a little long. Nice try, though, by Angaleza to get the rebound. And now the Knights should be able to clear it away, and they do.
Yeah, as the game has started, you haven't seen much success with that fast pace of offense that Battlefield's trying to run. I'd be curious to see what Coach DeHaven does to adjust, and as he notices that the Knights are doing a very similar tactic.
Yeah, the Knights are definitely getting it done on those fast breaks, as you mentioned, with Battlefield's missed field goals. The Knights are able to stretch the floor pretty nicely. That's the more noticeable, I think, thing that we've seen here through the game's first little over 4 minutes. Mitchell kicked it out to Bryant, and now Angaleza all the way in, trying to lay it off the glass. It's loose, and it goes out. It remains Battlefield ball. Good call there by the official. More subs coming in, and it'll be all Knights checking in. 3 new players join the floor, as it's Reagan Moore, Hayden Collinbrander, and Jordan Wilson. Looks like we're getting a timeout here. Not really sure who called it, but we'll take one with them here on the broadcast. Matt Venezia and Nate George helping you out here on the Battlefield Sports Network. Stay tuned, as we'll be back in a second. And we're back here in the broadcast booth. Looks like we're ready to go here with the Battlefield inbound coming. Cat Jenks rocking number 12 has it now. Got it out wide from Monroe Bryant. Skip a man. That's Keithia Angaleza. Good carom, though, for Battlefield. A little bit of pinball there. Jenks moves in, kicks it back to Bryant. The Battlefield offense will reset.
Yeah, if you watch actually right now, something I've actually never seen Battlefield do before is have such an open set. You can kind of assume that they would do that with the amount of guards that they have, but I'd be curious to see if they change back to what has worked with them in the past and really put Keithia in the middle and use her as a 5.
The Battlefield miss leads to an off chance there by the Knights. Looks like it goes off the Knights on that bid. We got to get the clock caught up here. We're about 5 seconds behind, so we'll do that now. And we're back here on track. Monroe Bryant walking it up for Battlefield as the Bobcats have only mustered 4 points here through the game's near 6 minutes. Jenks, a nice heave to Angaleza, on a bounce for Birch. Traffic in front. Reese gets her own rebound and puts it in. Birch has dominated inside the paint. She's made her physical presence known. Reese adds her 4th point of the night with that layup, and Battlefield trailing now just by 6.
Yeah, Birch only being a sophomore, really creating her presence right now early in her career, and her future's really bright. Just the presence she showed even as a freshman, it's very significant, and already having a starting role as a sophomore is really exciting.
Absolutely, as you mentioned, Reese, a sophomore here on the varsity team. She was on the team last year as a freshman, looking to be a 4-year varsity star for Battlefield, and she's gotten to work with some great teammates over the past 2 seasons, and Reese has done just a great job this season, already 4 points of the Battlefield 6 here tonight, and the Knights will come away with this Battlefield bid, and here they come up the floor. A feed to the open, Colin Brander under the rim, draws contact, and she'll go to the line for 2. They're going to get Angaleza on the foul.
Yeah, something that I'm starting to notice with Champe and how they're having success is that they're not really slowing down the play when Battlefield would, and I'd almost assume that it's because that they don't really have like an offensive form or a set that they need to run every single time, and it's something that Battlefield's slowing the ball down on every transition and causing a lot of confusion and distraction on the court.
Substitutions coming in. Mitchell will have a seat, and it'll be Monroe Bryant joining the Battlefield offense out on the floor. Colin Brander missed her first, and she'll try again here in her last attempt. That time, with a few bounces, she gets it to fall, and the lead now increases to 7. Monroe Bryant up the floor now for Battlefield, and underhand to Kat Jenks. Jenks will look to get something going here. Kicking it to Reese Birch in the left wing. Birch along the basket, and she puts it in. Reese using the baseline to get inside. She's got 6 points already here with a minute 50 to go in the first.
Yeah, something we've been seeing a lot out of Reese lately is the amount of confidence and the amount of confidence she's had growing into the season, and she's taking shots right now that she wouldn't have taken week 1, and it really shows, and it's helping out Battlefield right now.
Angaleza with the whistle. We thought she got fouled on the way. That would have been a 4-point opportunity, but they're going to rule it a travel. So those points will not count when Keithia just connected there from 3. Nate, you talked to Reese prior to the opening tip. She said that the team knows they're on a little bit of a losing streak here, and having this time off to practice and the winter break with the action they got during then, they're looking to start the new year off with a win, and Reese is doing at least her part, and she's got 6 points, leads the team right now in points, and the Bobcats, earlier deficits now, they're starting to close it. They have the last 2 points here on the night. That layup on the way by Hoffman would not fall. And now it'll be Kat Jenks working the floor. Jenks all the way, an underhand layup is blocked down by Jordan Wilson, the 5'8 junior, swatting that one, and it's out of play, and it'll remain Battlefield ball.
Yeah, looking at this John Champe roster, they have a very young team this year, I think only with 2 seniors, and I'd be curious to see the amount of damage they do in the future with I think all 5 players on the court right now are juniors or sophomores, so.
Now, we don't want to draw speculation, but right now Monroe Bryant tying her shoe. We see a little bit of some sort of tape wrap around Monroe's right hand. Not really sure what that's from. That could be something to watch in her shot selection. She's already tried from 3, so she's definitely not afraid to pull the trigger, but definitely something to note. Here's the freshman, Sophia Miller, who's done a great job here in her first year. Nice feed to Birch and an easy basket for Reese. She's got 8 now, and Battlefield is pulled to now within 3.
Yeah, Sophia Miller had a couple big moments so far this season, and really showing a lot of skill for a freshman, and really helped out there for Battlefield.
Wilson working the paint now, guarded by Birch. Wilson on the fadeaway hook shot. It wouldn't go. Rebounded, though, by the Knights. They're going to set it up off the shoes of Favis. And now Kat Jenks takes it up on a one-on-one. Nice move inside, but Kat missed the open layup. We're down to 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play, and the layup is good by the Knights. Good basket there, falling, and now the lead is 5. Birch trying to do a crossover. She lost it at her feet, doing the same as Jordan Wilson, and now we're going to get a kickball called.
Coach DeHaven right now shows a lot of frustration on the sideline. I would almost assume that it's because that with only 18 seconds left, Battlefield would value the ball and take one last shot, not really force anything, and it's not quite what they did.
Well, now with 18 seconds, you definitely don't want to give up points here on this. What looks to be the final possession of the quarter, the Knights will probably hold the ball until the last shot. But you want to keep it at 5. It was a 12-8 lead earlier, and the Bobcats have made it a 5-point lead for the Knights. Wilson, though, decides to pull the trigger. Now Battlefield should have a last-second opportunity. To Champe for Bryant. She's got to look at the time. She does not, and that's it for the first quarter of play. Battlefield is now gotten the offense rolling a little bit. It's 15-10. We'll take a break with you guys here on the Battlefield Sports Network. 15-10 after 1. The Knights leading it here on the home floor against the Bobcats.
Traffic. I think by bus it's pretty similar though. Especially with all the lights on that wall, you don't have that coming here. We have a picture of this phone, right? And oh dude, I don't know. We're gonna play that's the away game.
Yeah. And we're back here on the broadcast, ready for the second quarter of action here with Battlefield and John Champe. We're going to get the time going here. We're a little bit behind on that. We're going to get the play-by-play caught up in a second.
Yeah, as we noticed a change in the momentum midway through the first quarter, I actually credit a lot to that too. When Coach DeHaven made that timeout, and a nice bucket by junior Anita Champe, as Matt said earlier, had 2 big-time threes in last game. Really showing her presence right now as she makes another big steal, and Reese Birch leads it back coming the other way. Anita Champe has the ball, passes it to Anglaise in the middle. Birch has it under, and Birch with another layup to make the lead of John Champe only to 1.
Sorry about that. We're back here on the commentary. 17-12 is the score. We're going to get the scoreboard updated as well. We're going to get a quick stoppage in the action here. Sorry, I got the score wrong here. Running around. I don't know why it reset. But we're back here. Matt Venezia and Nathan George helping you guys out here on the play-by-play tonight with Battlefield and John Champe. The Bobcats, give them credit. They were down 12-4. And it's now 15-14 for the Knights. So the Bobcats obviously controlling the offensive momentum as of right now. And, you know, they're doing a great job here getting it inside. Reese Birch has dominated. She had a great first quarter with 8 points, and they're looking to keep using the offense with Reese. To Champe for Birch. She's got a wide open 3. That one rims out. A nice look there by Reese. And a quick whistle, and it looks like it goes out here, and it'll remain Battlefield ball.
Yeah, as I said, I was talking about earlier, Coach DeHaven really noticed that Champe has a very similar playing offensive style with a very low amount of center and power forwards. That it is a very guard offense, and it's very fast moving, similar to their own. So I think Coach DeHaven caught on quickly and was able to make adjustments.
Yeah, and we mentioned Coach DeHaven's done a fantastic job taking over the reins here after Coach Brown moved on to take over at Westfield for girls basketball. And Coach DeHaven, obviously assistant last year, he's done a great job stepping in and leading the girls here. They're having a great year, but just a little bit of a skid here. They're looking to halt it. And for right now, what we're seeing with this offensive run they've had, slowing down Champ's fast break offense, that basket doesn't go, but it wouldn't have counted anyways. They get a travel called, and now the Bobcats will take over.
Reese Birch calls for the ball again with the amount of confidence she has early.
Birch ran into a wall. It looked like she's going to get some shots here at the line. And Birch will go again with an opportunity to add on to her point total. She's definitely had a fantastic game here for Battlefield so far in the earlier stages of the first half, and Birch now will take 2. So free throws, an early problem here we've noticed is, Jenks was not able to connect on her first 2. Birch missing the first of her 2. More substitutions, though, as Anna Campe will check in here on Reese's second attempt. That time, Birch is able to connect, and we are all tied up here at 15 for the first time since this game was tied at 0. Nice swat by DeCampe, running right into the scores table here on the sideline. And Anna showing her physicality there defensively. She's had a pretty good game here as well.
Yeah, as the players playing such a big role coming off the bench, I'd be curious to see if any adjustments happen with her throughout the rest of the season and maybe her getting more minutes.
Ellie Favis hit the open shot there coming from Moore. She wasn't able to connect. And the Knights keep the offensive possession humming. Thinking about the 3 in the corner. Nice feed here on the way to Wilson. Back to Galindo. Her shot on the way, and it's good. So Tatiana Galindo, let's see if they rule that a 3 or not. Looks like it's just a 2, so the Knights will stretch now the lead to 2. Bryant hitting Jenks, and now back to DeCampe. DeCampe tries from 3, and that time Anna hits. Battlefield for the first time connects from behind the arc. And for the first time tonight, the Bobcats have the lead. A nice looking stroke there off the screen of Jenks there to Campe, hitting from behind. Nice underhand layup on the way by the Knights. No good. Rebounded by Kat Jenks, and now Battlefield will come away for another chance. Jenks to the open to Campe. Why not? Anna from 3 hits again. We've seen these runs by Anna to Campe. She's 2 for 2 in the last, 20 seconds from 3. And now Battlefield with the lead up to 4.
Yeah, and it's a camp for the junior, as we talked about earlier, making her presence coming off the bench with 2 straight threes. And with Kat Jenks bringing up the ball, and it's such a great leader she is, she's starting to realize who the hot hand is and what they're going to need to do to score.
Bryant with a nice set of eyes looking for Birch cutting down to the basket. And defensively, the Knights were able to get a hand on it and send it out of play. 4:35 to work here in the first half of play. The Bobcats have come alive here offensively. It was looking like that at the end of the first quarter when they were coming back, and now the three-point shot's getting going. We like what we're seeing. Bryant on the inbound for Jenks, and now back to Monroe. She works on Favis, and now Monroe will get it to Angaleza. The Battlefield offense looking to regroup. Keithia hits to Campe on a bounce. Now to Monroe. Bryant from 3. That one bouncing around. It wouldn't fall. Birch gets the rebound. And Reese coming up slow there. May have drilled her knee. It looks like she's coming up on a little bit of a limp. We'll reset the time for you. It's 4:16 to work. Battlefield still on top by 4.
Yeah, Birch looked like she came up after she looked like she clapped knees with Champs Jr. Jordan Wilson. If she comes out for so long, it'd be a big presence lost, and I know Coach DeHaven doesn't want that, so hopefully she gets up better.
Kat Jenks will take over the reins here on offense for Battlefield. Just 2 points for her on the night, looking to add more. Jenks is definitely capable of that. The commit to Rochester. That spin around shot by Angaleza would not fall. And it'll be an inbound coming for John Champ here with 4:05 to work in the first half.
Yeah, Angaleza we haven't heard much from tonight, but we normally do. A very big presence for Battlefield, as she is able to have a big body and really take up lots of paint, but have that skill set of a guard. And really, Coach DeHaven, I bet, is happy about that player.
Lexi Armstrong heads to the line. as she was fouled there on the way up for her shot. She'll shoot 2. We'll reset the time here in the booth. Armstrong connects on the first one, so they trim the lead to 3. I mean, other than that early run in the first quarter by the Knights, this game's been a pretty tight contest. We're looking forward to seeing that the entire way through. If you're just tuning in, Battlefield and John Champe getting it done here. The Bobcats on the road tonight here in their first game of the new year. And we're super stoked to be in the booth to watch it. Monroe Bryant with the underhand had too much on it. And now the Knights will come away on offense. Meanwhile, flying down the right side is Galindo, rebounded by the freshman Sophia Miller. And she gets it to Bryant. Battlefield comes away, 3:37 to work. Bryant to Kat Jenks. Spins her way into the paint. The hook shot had too much on it. Rebounded by Tatiana Galindo. And now here comes John Champe.
Yeah, coming up on the next possession for Battlefield, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach DeHaven tells a leader like Monroe to slow the ball down and really possess the ball and find out where our assets are and where we're going to need to score from.
Hayden Collenbrander pulled the trigger from just inside the three-point line, and now we are tied up here. The last 4 points coming from the Knights. Bryant looks to get Battlefield back on the board. Interchanging with Angaleza. Her hook shot again would not fall. And trying to save it where the Knights to Champe came and picked it off, and she got swatted down by Galindo. Meanwhile, the feed, it's an easy layup potentially until Jenks came flying into your picture. A good block there by Kat. Some substitutions coming in here for John Champe. A great defensive effort there by Kat. She took the words right out of my mouth. I thought that was going to be an easy layup for the Knights, but Kat had other ideas.
Yeah, Kat really showed off her athletic ability right there and really showed that she is a leader and leading by example as you have to hustle on offense and on defense.
Here comes a 3 on the way by Ellie Favis. She's connected before from behind the arc. And just like that, John Champe has got a little bit of a run going right now. They've put up 7 unanswered. To Champe. Got it for Angaleza. Keithia backs up. Her shot wouldn't fall. Rebounded here by the Knights. We got to get the time going. We're a little bit behind. Coming on in, the nice floater by Favis. She's gotten her shot to go. And she's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, as John Champe's had a lot of success in the past minute or two. I'd be curious to see where Coach DeHaven really makes his adjustments as he's seeing Anita Campe's hot. Sophia Miller hasn't had much time but made her presence known while she's on the court. And right now, actually, we see coming out of the box, we have Julia Miller and looks like Reese Birch. So that's always a good sign.
Maybe this set of free throws here for DeCampe could get Battlefield back where they need to be before we head to the half. But as you mentioned, Birch and Mitchell will come on in. And DeCampe hits on her first, so some more offensive pieces coming on in. Angaleza and Monroe Bryant will have a seat on that substitution. And for the Knights taking a seat, it's Hayden Collenbrander, as you mentioned. You know, she pulled that trigger shot there on the wing to really cap off that little bit of a run the Knights had going on. And DeCampe hits on those, so Battlefield wasn't doing too hot at the line, but Anna able to cool that off a little bit with her free throws right there, and now the lead is just 3 for John Champe. Meanwhile, pulling up here is Collenbrander. That one bouncing around, and it falls. So she's gotten her stroke to fall. That's 2 shots unanswered by her, and it's now 28-23 for the Knights. Birch got it for Jenks. Kat down low from Miller. She took a hit inside. Nice post presence there by Haley. Haley Yee able to knock down Miller, and now they'll reset the offense.
Yeah, Haley Yee with great defense, but I don't think that was really a bad offensive option. As you saw, Sophia Miller had a good amount of space, but as Matt said, Yee was able to close that space very quickly and create an offensive opportunity that the Knights look to take advantage of now.
Inbounding it for the Knights, it's Peyton Hoffman. Here comes a shot on the way. It wouldn't fall. Looking for the rebound are the Knights, but it's DeCampe that came away with it, and then she threw it away. Loose by her feet it is for Lexi Armstrong, and now we're going to get a whistle. I think because the Knights lost possession, this should be Battlefield ball, and it is. So Julia Mitchell, no points yet for her tonight. We're sure that's bound to change sometime soon. And now Kat Jenks will take it away for Battlefield. Looking to get back on the board. She has just 2 points here thus far. And
not
Birch.
not a usual stat number for Cap, but something I definitely would not be surprised changed in the second half.
Miller went up for the shot. It was blocked, but there was some contact, so Sophia heads to the line. And a good chance here for Battlefield to trim the lead even more.
Here the freshman looks to take an opportunity to make her presence known, as I said before. In games past, I remember against Forest Park, she had a block party going on and really showing that she plays a big role in this team, and a bright future is going to be shined on for her.
I love that high arc that Miller has on her shots there. You just saw her free throw falling, and she'll look to grab the second one here with 51 seconds to work here in the first half of play. That time it would not fall, so Battlefield able to cut the lead to 4. Good double team there by Mitchell and Birch, but the Knights able to avoid it, and now here they come on offense. Kicking it now to the right wing. Coming on in is Peyton Hoffman on a spin. Yee! She got the fadeaway floater to go. Very nice athletic shot there by Haley Yee, and the Knights back on top by 6.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, I'd be curious to see what Coach DeHaven Kuz calls now with them getting the ball off an inbound. If they choose to take the one last shot, or with them being down by 6, that they keep that same fast pace of offense that they started the game with.
Good thing you mentioned the last shot, because there's no shot clock in high school basketball, so the Bobcats can hold this thing, be content with at least going to the half with a deficit of 6. I think that's probably the best play. Miller has other ideas, so her shot would fall, or miss. Rebounded, though, by the Knights, and Birch did a good job defensively to get a hand in there, but now John Champ will come away. Hoffman on a bounce, and now they move it around. Nice pick of the pass by Miller. 10 seconds to work. Sophia coming down the left side. Miller with some contact, able to lay it off the glass, and it's good. Sophia cuts the lead to 4. The Knights trying to move now. Some contact. It'll go out of bounds with 0.4 of a second to go. Our clock shows 0 for you guys. We will, I'm sure we can all guess when 0.4 of a second will expire once the whistle happens. But some sort of quick shot will need to be made here by Hoffman. And we're going to do it again here from the spot. But nonetheless, pretty good effort there by Miller to get it to fall. That one, no chance to fall. And that's it. Here we'll do it here at halftime. So Battlefield trailing by 4 at the half. A pretty good second quarter for them. And we'll get the clock going with the and actually, I didn't realize this entire time we had boys basketball showing in the bottom corner. That's our fault. We'll get that changed right now. Apologies about that. It's been girls this entire time. We will get that fixed. We'll get that fixed right now, and then we're going to get the halftime clock working for you guys. They got a half-court shot going right now. A little contest here. The Knights are showing us here, but we've reached the half. Battlefield trailing by 4. And that'll do it for us here for a little bit. We'll take a break and then come back to you guys in the broadcast booth.
Oh, my God! I don't know if you guys had just saw that, but the contestant just made a backwards half-court shot. Not quite sure if the camera got that, but, man, was that impressive. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the late start to the half, but the John Champe Knights just came out with a very fast opening three to start the half as Kat Jenks looks to bounce back, and yeah, sorry about that. Matt's still getting everything set up, so. But right now, Ellie Favis is bringing the ball up. Julia Mitchell playing great defense with the screen. Keithia Inglesa picks up, and a deep three by, sorry, just give me a sec. All right, we're back. Reese Birch with a deep three, and it goes right in and out, but looks like Kat Jenks is there for the
nice rebound. Sorry, nice rebound there by Kat Jenks, able to get Battlefield back on the board here. Our timer thing here on this free YouTube stream being really annoying. It's making me have to reset everything, you know, right when each quarter ends, which is really annoying. But we're back here. The Bobcats trailing by 5. A nice start out of the half for Kat, who kind of struggled there in the first half with knocking down field goals. Excuse me. She did a good job there. And now the Bobcats looking to set up shop again for some more offense. So now it's Keithia Angaleza getting it for Birch, who was really hot. 12 points in that first half. They're looking to use her to grab some more in this comeback effort. Angaleza off the glass too much, but she chased down her own rebound. That time her bid was blocked. And now the Bobcats will have an inbound coming. We're going to get the clock caught up here. 33-28 in favor of the John Champe Knights here. That chance on the way would not go. And the Knights, Yee comes away, but she stepped out of bounds. I was about to say. That's a pretty obvious call. And
though the Battlefield shots aren't falling, something we're seeing a big change, even out of the short amount of time that it's been in this half, is a lot more ball movement and a lot more smarter moves with the ball. Really not forcing up shots and taking the open ones and really being patient with every opportunity.
Reese Birch gets it now for Julia Mitchell. No points in the first half for Julia. Takes a hit off of Yee, and I mean, she wasn't trying to hit her at all, but the size differential there, very obvious, so that's why Mitchell went flying there after they bumped into each other. So there's 6:04 to go here in the third quarter of play. The Bobcats trailing by 5. This inbound comes from Monroe Bryant, and now she works her way in to the offensive end. Monroe sidestepping her way. She's going to get fouled at the top, and the Bobcats will get some more shots here at the line. It'll be Monroe going to the charity stripe.
That's something we saw a lot last half, was Champe really playing that much of aggressive defense, but now as they're picking up a few more fouls and may lead to some foul trouble to later on in the game and really change a different perspective on the game, as it might even impact them to a degree, because Battlefield hasn't been shooting well from the free throw line, and Monroe missing her first and going up for her second, and be fortunate to sink it.
So Bryant knocks that one down, making the lead just 4 for the Knights. I mean, the Bobcats have not shot well from the line tonight. They're not helping themselves out, and you know, right now this is a tight, close game, and you know, you knock these free throws down, and the game's going to be, you know, a much closer game as it is right now. So imagine if you do hit those shots, that's where, you know, you start to realize how important the free throws are going to be. The Bobcats, a good defensive stand there. Birch leads it up for Bryant, who pulls up from 3. Looking to lay it off the glass there with that shot. It wouldn't go. Rebounded by Wilson, and here come the Knights.
Yeah, back on the free throw topic, if Birch and Kat Jenks were able to make their free throws, it'd be a completely different game right now, and Battlefield would only really be down by 2.
Reagan Moore hits on her layup under the basket, so now the Knight lead moves up to 6. And you can slowly see the gym getting to be a little bit more crowded, as I think the more anticipated matchup coming later tonight between the boys, Battlefield and John Champe. Nice layup there, falls. Battlefield reaches a 30-point plateau, and now they trail by just 4.
Another example of that good ball movement by Battlefield, as Keithia was able to get it really under to Reese Birch, as she was trying to get open in many opportunities, and Keithia finally found her and took the most of her opportunity and moved the Bobcats closer and limited the deficit.
Galindo got the rebound. Now carving under the rim, it's the big forward, the 5'8 junior Jordan Wilson, who's able to finish it. And back up to 6 we go. Back and forth between deficits here for Battlefield. Bryant looking for her own rebound. It's going to hit off of the Bobcats and go out with 4:20 to work here in the third quarter of play. More substitutions being made as the Knights will get some new faces as well as the Bobcats out there. 4:20 to go, as we mentioned, here in the third quarter of play. Matt Venezia and Nathan George helping you guys out here on the broadcast with girls basketball here on this Thursday night. Happy Friday Eve to everybody watching as we've made it through this week back with school getting underway after winter and Christmas break. The snow day on Wednesday and the 2-hour delay today, helped us get back into the groove a little bit, I think. So we're all looking forward to the weekend, and it gets kicked off tomorrow after school, so we're pretty excited about that. As are the girls on the floor here, as now Mitchell works the offense. Getting it to Champe. She's got a wide open 3. Not a good idea when she's been shooting it well, as that one just misses. Jenks on her effort, it wouldn't go. But Kat will head to the line looking to finish on her opportunities tonight. As we mentioned, her free throw shooting has not been up to par, but a good opportunity to pull the Bobcats to within 4 here with these shots.
Yeah, something Champ's doing and having a little bit of success doing right now is really moving the ball up the court and taking every opportunity they have. Something they started out the game doing and started to phase away, as I think Coach DeHaven picked up on it. But they're coming out just as strong as they did to start the game and really applying the pressure that they need to in their favor, pull out and win.
So that time, Jenks goes 2 for 2 at the stripe. The first time the Bobcats can say that they've done that tonight comes here in the later stages of quarter number 3. Galindo hits the wide open under the basket Lexi Armstrong. This 3 on the way by Yee would not go. And now Battlefield with an opportunity to pull to within 2. Jenks taking it herself with a few moves, not able to get it to fall. Angaleza hits to Champe. Mitchell tries from 3. That one had too much on it. Yee gets the rebound, and the Knights will take it away. Good offensive chance there for Battlefield, but they come away with nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, many opportunities tonight, and I will not be surprised if the perspective of where they're going to shoot from really changes. They're seeing the outside shot isn't falling to start the second half. I'd be curious as they see that Reese Birch had that inside advantage at the beginning to start the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they feed it back to her in that same spot and hopefully regain this lead.
Good setup in the paint there by the Bobcats defensively, as the shot didn't go, but they drew the charge. So now Battlefield will come away on this possession. Julia Mitchell walks it up the floor, now coming across the midline. And the Bobcats, who trailed by 4 right now, trying to look to get that three-point game established. They haven't connected from 3 here in the quarter. Jenks, nice fake, and moving along. She lays it off the glass, working against the baseline. Kat Jenks makes the deficit just 2 as she connects on her second field goal of the half.
Yeah, something I'm starting to pick up on a little bit this game is that Kat Jenks isn't the one really bringing the ball up. As in games past, she's been the one bringing the ball up and really making the plays, not needing to score every time. But right now, it looks like Coach DeHaven's having her do a lot of off-ball movement, create space for herself, so she does get the ball and gets the opportunities to finish.
Birch is going to get called for the illegal screen there as Angaleza was working her way around Birch, and Moore took the worst of the contact there. Reagan Moore, you saw her pull up from inside the arc and connected. She's done pretty well from that spot. It's definitely her forte when it comes to two-point shooting. And now the Knights will look for some more points, and doing that up the floor, it's Peyton Hoffman who kicks it now to Ellie Favis. She's connected twice from 3. We'll see what she does here on this possession. The kick out wide to Colin Brander, now resetting up top. They feed it inside to Wilson. Her shot misses off the front iron, picks up her own rebound. Nice feed inside to Moore, but that time it wouldn't go. To Champe fighting for the rebound. They're going to say it's Battlefield ball. And now the Bobcats, who trail by 4, will look for some more points. Sophia Miller comes in on the substitution, and Angaleza swaps with her as she'll have a seat.
Yeah, Sophia Miller, unlike Keithia, is a very big post player and a very big effective player in that aspect. So I'd be curious to see where the offense changes and if they really start to push it to the middle with the presence that she makes on the court.
Birch crossing inside, kicks it out to Jenks, who works by the midpoint of the three-point line. Jenks with some contact, no foul. Kat thought she got fouled up top. We're gonna catch the time up here, 1:59 to work
Yeah, very arguable no call. Cat showed a lot of motion right there, and it's not that big of a deal. They get the ball back, and hopefully she gets to create her space and get that shot that she's been very successful with to start the half.
Mitchell looking for an option, hits Miller under the basket, but Sophia, had too much on it. Moore hitting inside, moving around is Galindo. Saving it though with one hand was Katadaya, and this one out by the Knight sideline, and they're going to say it's Battlefield ball. It'll be an inbound for Julia Mitchell coming. We're going to wait a second to get the clock going, as now there's 1:43 to go here in the third quarter, with the Bobcats trailing the Knights here by 4, 39-35. It's been a pretty tight contest the entire way. Miller moving around and inside. She gets that floater to fall. Sophia Miller cuts the lead to 2. She's got 6 points tonight. Nice job here by Sophia. Now the other way, the Knights are going to get called for a travel.
Yeah, as I said, as she started to enter the game, is she does make a different presence on the court, and it doesn't look like Champ has caught on yet, so I'd keep feeding that hot flame and take all advantage of it while it's there. Right here we have Kat Jenks, who's taking the ball up. As I said, it's very different this game where she hasn't really been doing that lately, but
first time checking in. Actually, I thought someone else was on the floor. But Kat Jenks has it up high, kicking it into the right corner for Anna DeCampi, working along the baseline with Champ written along the stripe there. Now out wide for Julia Mitchell, skipping Jenks, hitting to Campe. Anna looking, moving around in the paint, now for Reese Birch.
Yeah, with the clock running down, a minute left, I'd be curious to see if they hold it that long for that one shot, or if they try to get as many opportunities as they can with the time left.
Jenks pulls the trigger, missed it, got her own rebound, and Yee got the rebound as Jenks was not able to get it to the rim. Mitchell jumping, she didn't have the height advantage on Wilson. Euro stepping her way in and laying it off the glass nicely. It's a 4-point lead now for the Knights with 30 seconds to work here in the third quarter. Reese Birch takes it from Kat Jenks, looking for some points here, down to 25. Birch along the baseline, got that one to go. It was a fadeaway shot. Reese continues her successful game tonight, and the Bobcats trail by 2. 15 seconds to work, and now we get a stoppage as
Reese,
Battlefield trails by 2.
Yeah, Reese, the sophomore, continuing to just shoot where she knows she could shoot from. Not really making much mistakes because she isn't putting herself in those opportunities. Something you're seeing a lot of other players her own age do, and it's very successful for her right now in Battlefield as the game's only within 2 and going into the fourth quarter with 8 seconds left.
Moore down the rim, and she got it to go. Reagan Moore lays it in. That's a huge 2 points there prior to the quarter ending. Jenks not understanding that the clock was coming to an end. That's it for the third quarter. The Knights, with that late layup, extend their lead now to 4. And we'll step away here for a second and get you ready for the fourth quarter of action here at John Champ, as you're watching Battlefield and John Champ here on the Battlefield Sports Network. Back here in the booth for the fourth quarter of play, Battlefield and John Champ looking to finish this contest tonight here in the final frame to work with. TeCampe, her 3, a little long. Anna now 2 for 4 on the night from the triple area, is now working it is Galindo by the right wing. Getting it for Ferris. Now Wilson moving around the pressure of Reese Birch. Hitting Reagan Moore, who backs up by that John Champ logo at center court. And they'll reset the offense now with Ellie Favis.
Yeah, something Battlefield's doing right now is they're switching back and forth between a man and a zone. Really all we've seen throughout the second half has been a zone, but Battlefield, I would almost say, is almost confusing themselves and not really knowing exactly where to go because of that confusion of switching back and forth.
For the most part, it does look like a zone up top. Here comes a shot on the way, and it's good. And the Knights connect from 2. That was Wilson. And now a minute gone here in the fourth quarter of play. The Knights extend their lead to 6. Jenks tries from 3, missing it off the front part of the iron, rebounded by John Champe. And here come the Knights looking for more. Good hand there by Reese Birch, but running out of real estate as that one heads out of bounds.
Yeah, as that defense I was talking about before, something that zone puts up for risk is that low area, that low on the baseline. If the Knights really took advantage of that, I think it'd definitely be a game changer and put Battlefield into a
Jordan Wilson at the top of the key hands it now off to Tatiana Galindo. And the Knights now, Ellie Favis pulling up, looking to use the glass. Rebounded by Sophia Miller, and here comes Battlefield. Miller cutting it inside. Losing it, though, as Jordan Wilson was able to get on top of it. And now here comes Favis. On a bounce, kicks it into the corner for Reagan Moore. Rebounded by Sophia, and now Battlefield will come away, and they're going to call a foul. We're going to get the time caught up here. 6:05 to work. The Knights just with 2 points here in the quarter. Battlefield is not yet connected. It looks like the boys varsity team here for Battlefield has arrived, and they're ready in time here to watch the conclusion of this thing, and then they'll get ready for theirs. Ellie Favis's 3 wouldn't go, and it went off to Campy's right hand, so that's why it'll remain John Champe ball.
Coach DeHaven standing up now, really emphasizing his point. Defense hasn't really been doing what he's been saying, just kind of following the standard, and Coach DeHaven's trying to change that right now.
Moore kind of adjusting her angle there to get it on the way. It wouldn't go. Battlefield turns it over. That's too easy. Yee under the basket off the turnover by Battlefield. Coach DeHaven not happy with that one at all. The lead's the largest it's been in some time. 8 now for John Champe. Birch looking to cut into it, though. Her 3 a little long. Miller going for the rebound.
Coach DeHaven surprisingly not calling a timeout right now. Something he's done in many of these similar situations, and actually
looks
right
like they're
out
going to
of
call.
his mouth. Looks like he did.
So the initial call was a loose ball foul on the Knights, and now using this as an opportunity to reset is Coach DeHaven, as you alluded to, Nate. So we'll take one with him. Battlefield trailing now by 8, looking to get back into this thing. 5:32 to work here on the Battlefield Sports Network. Great song. And we're back here in the broadcast booth. 5:32 to go. Matt Venezia and Nathan George helping you guys out here for the conclusion of this thing here on the road at John Champe. Miller, all kinds of space. Got swatted at the last second by Wilson. Sophia on the foul. Nearly finished it for the three-point opportunity. Sophia will head to the line for the Bobcats, looking to reach the 40-point mark here with this trip to the charity stripe.
Sophia, the freshman, had a lot of space in the middle, and she took it. Coach DeHaven really showed emphasis, though, as she went up with her right hand and really gave it to John Champe, as she could have went up with her left and had a way easier layup and given herself a better opportunity to finish there.
Miller a little long on that free throw effort, so the lead remains 8 for John Champ. More substitutions as Anna DeCampi will have a seat for Battlefield. And as we mentioned, Reese Birch, definitely the star of the night. Already 16 points to her name. She's having a fantastic game here for Battlefield. And now Miller goes 1 for 2 at the line, a much-needed point there for the Bobcats. And the lead is cut to 7. Reagan Moore takes it up the floor, looking for Wilson, and a good defensive effort there by Miller. Got a hand in the lane, and it goes out, and we'll see an inbound here for the Knights.
Yeah, a name we haven't heard much tonight that we talked about is Kat Jenks. Really the big senior for Battlefield and led the way for most of the season, and I'd be curious to see within these next 5 minutes where she steps up and where she turns things around.
Jordan Wilson steps back on her long 2. Miller got the rebound, handing it to Jenks, as you mentioned. And now Kat will look for some opportunity here. She has not hit from downtown. We've seen her do just that. As 2 games ago I think it was a Forest Park game, she hit 7 threes. So she has the ability, but she's just been hot and cold kind of all season. We don't really know what kind of game we're going to get from her.
Yeah, that game where she had 7 threes was actually against Hilton, but really made her presence known. And right now they're going under the ball. Very arguable. Coach DeHaven doesn't know what to think of it. And they do give it to John Champ.
So Reagan Moore will inbound it here for the hosting John Champ Knights, who have the lead here by 7 if you're just tuning into the contest. The Knights, for really the majority of the game, have had the lead, but the Bobcats have done their efforts in sustaining a few-point deficit. That 3 on the way by Yee, rebounded by the big Jordan Wilson, and on her post move, she's able to put it in. Nice spin there by her. She lays it off the glass, and now Battlefield trails by 9.
That big presence that Jordan Wilson on Champ is making really surprises me that coach hasn't really changed the aspect and put Keithia in. She's played a big presence in the middle and in that post and really almost would have the best opportunity to stop her.
Miller's done her part in getting rebounds and finishing, and she did a great job there, cutting the lead to 7. Reagan Moore able to carve to the rim, and she puts that one in. Add 2 more to the John Champ Knight total tonight, and now it's back to a 9-point lead. Julia Mitchell in the right corner, works her way up to the top of the key, working with Favis, and they're going to call a foul as Mitchell was working on that effort, and the Bobcats will have an inbound.
Coming in is actually going to be Anna DeCampi coming in for Monroe Bryant. Anna DeCampi has been hot off the bench, and I think he's really just looking for those points that he needs right now and trying to turn this game around with a 9-point deficit.
That foul actually put Battlefield in the bonus to make it a 1-of-1 situation. That's why only 1 came there as she missed. So the rebound by Wilson, stretching the floor up to Reagan Moore. She pulls up from that spot she loves, and I mean, we've said it all night. You can't give her that shot. She's hit too many times from that inside the 3-point line, long 2. And now the lead in double figures for really the first time since the first quarter. Birch will try. Her shot was blocked. And the Bobcats with 3:17 to go trail by 11. They'll need some kind of a run here to get back into this thing. And, you know, the 3-point shot was looking pretty good in that second quarter. But the Bobcats have not connected from downtown this entire half. That's definitely been something to note. And Jenks, who's acquired a lot of the threes on the season for Battlefield, hasn't hit one tonight. And Galeza got the rebound, all kinds of time to put it up, and she could not. And that one's going to go off of Jenks, and the other way here comes for John Champ. Reagan Moore working it now. Under 3 minutes to go here at John Champ. Battlefield trailing by 11. They'll need to connect for some shots here to make this thing close here in the final minutes. Looking to stretch it for Galinda, and that one goes out. So this could be the break the Bobcats were looking for. Can they get something going here? You have Birch on the floor with 16. Miller's done a great job, who's actually not out there right now. And DeCampi with the 2 threes of the night, the only 2 that Battlefield has to their name. I'd expect to see the offense work around them. As you see DeCampi try from 3, that one wouldn't go. Rebounded by Favis, and now the Knights will come away. Meanwhile, lead pass to Galinda. That's too easy. The lead is to 13, and the Bobcats will call a timeout, respectively, as we'll get the clock back to where it is. 2:33 to go. things are looking pretty good for the hosting Knights. 55-42 here with 2.5 to work here on the Battlefield Sports Network. Back here in the booth, Matt Venezia and Nate George. Nate, what needs to happen for the Bobcats here to kind of make this thing a game here as they trail by 13, not a lot of time left to go?
Yeah, with the 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, Battlefield has really used a big zone in the second half, and something I would argue with, really put them into a man and make that half-court press that they've been doing, make it full court, as Kat Jenks just swishes a three for the first time of the night, making her normal presence known.
Well, that helps, right? Kat connects for the first time tonight. The deficit's still hefty, though. They're not out of the woods yet. A 10-point deficit. A nice post move there. They're going to call a foul as Wilson heads to the line. We'll see what she can do here. We're going to get the time back to being accurate. 2:05 to work. The Bobcats trailing by 10. Jenks' three right there, just the third triple they've connected on all night. So that's definitely been an issue. They haven't really made all their free throws. Those are some things that we're picking at here and why the Bobcats are trailing. That one connects there for Wilson at the line.
Yeah, right now, I mean, with that triple that just went in by Kat Jenks, I'd be curious to see if they stay with that mindset or they switch to forcing it inside, having that high probability shot with what they need. But with the low amount of time, the three might not be a bad option either.
Mitchell got it for Angaleza. She tries from downtown. Champe gets the rebound, spins, and gets it for Jenks. Kat gets to Reese Birch. Angaleza gets fouled inside, so now Keithia will have an opportunity. 1:47 to go. You got to assume you got to make these, and then you got to get some sort of a steal to set up another chance for points. Obviously, that three-point effort by Angaleza would have made life a lot easier. But definitely, when they get the ball back and set up for an offensive chance, the three-point ball is definitely going to be the focal point here with 1:47 to work.
Yeah, and something that's very fortunate, if Keithia actually makes a second shot, it's going to be an inbound play and really gives Battlefield an opportunity to make that full-court pressure a problem. And unfortunately, that first shot doesn't go in, so we're going to need all of the shots to go in if Battlefield wants to turn this one around.
That's definitely got to be the focus point. They haven't tried many threes, and they've only hit three because they haven't really, attempted them. But they've had their efforts, they've had their chances at the line, and they really just have not hit them. You make half the shots that they've gotten tonight, and this game's a lot closer. Battlefield burns a timeout. We'll burn one with them. It's a 10-point lead for the Knights, and things are wrapping up here on the road at John Champe. It's 56-46. The Knights lead the Bobcats. The inbound on the way for the Knights. They'll set up shop now on the offensive end. Favis working the left wing will now look to heave it across. Somehow that pass connects. We're down to a minute and a half to go. The Bobcats with that full court defense. Jenks doing a nice job of getting in there. The Knights just trying to play a little bit of keep away, and then finally Mitchell fouls Favis, and it looks like she should head to the line. We'll see what they do here. No, it'll be an inbound. The Knights are not yet in the bonus. That's why they're going to get an inbound try here. And doing so, it'll be Reagan Moore.
Yeah, Coach Dyke, the John Champ coach, has the Knights going with a little bit of a different approach and really just trying to make that clock go down. Earlier, as Matt said, there is no shot clock in high school, so really gives them the opportunity to run the clock down and put the game away when they need it.
Jenks nearly came away with that steal, but the whistle's going to be called. Another foul there on Battlefield. And Reagan Moore will have a lot of heat in her face as Champe will try and get a piece of this inbound.
Yeah, Battlefield, one more foul. Goes into the pushes Champ into the bonus and would really help them seal the game away with the success that they've had from the line so far.
Another foul there on Angaleza, so that will halt play here. And Favis had an open three-point opportunity there. She decided to pass, so the Knights just trying to play keep away, keep the deficit at 10, and not give Battlefield any opportunities to set up an offensive opportunity back the other way. This is a 1-of-1, so the miss is rebounded by Wilson. That doesn't help Battlefield's chances at all. Mitchell has to foul. We're going to get the clock fixed here. If Jenks came away with that rebound, then they could set up the offense the other way and hope for a three-point try. Sophia Miller checks in here on the inbound. It'll be another set of free throws coming now. And because of the bonus, these are going to be two coming for the Knights.
No, actually, I think it's a 1-and-1. Yeah, as the shot's live right now. Again, another rebound by Champ and puts him right back at the line. Looks like it's going to be Reagan Moore, and she's been hot from her one spot. I'd be curious to see if she's the same from the free throw line.
So 1:11 to work. Reagan Moore heads back to the line, as you mentioned. She's done great from the field tonight. Definitely the most consistent shooter of the Knights roster here tonight against Battlefield. They have a 10-point lead with 1:11 to work. Moore, that one rims out. Now Battlefield will come the other way. Looking for a three here. Jenks looking to move it. Cat on a bounce for Sophia Miller. Is going to come all the way down. Missing the layup. Sophia really only had one player to beat. Mitchell gets on top of it. This should remain Battlefield ball. And it will, with 57 seconds to go.
Yeah, something we haven't really acknowledged much tonight is how important this game really is and plays for the rest of the season. That John Champ now this year moving into Battlefield's district really puts a perspective on and changes the records outside the gameplay, and really would help Champ out if they seal the game out in the tournament. And Battlefield looks to have a tough schedule for the rest of the season, going up against, I think, Osborne next week, or I mean tomorrow. So
absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned the district with Champ moving in. Dating back to last game when the Bobcats lost at home to the Yellow Jackets, you have that game. You now have this game here against John Champ, Osborne tomorrow. I mean, the district games are here, and they make these games so much more important as Mitchell does a good job of hitting both her free throws. I mean, a loss here, that's two straight district losses. That's tough to come back from in the standings and throughout the end of the season here when it comes to be playoff time. Jenks with a nice steal, and what are we going to get? It's going to be
a very questionable foul call on the court. Coach DeHaven not very pleased with the call.
And Jenks got that steal. I thought the quick whistle was to be a timeout, but because of a push back the other way, Reagan Moore heads to the line. She did not hit on her last try, so we'll see what the Bobcats want to do here once, if they come down with this rebound, if she isn't able to connect. And Moore hits the first one, so the lead moves back up to 9. We'll see. Coach DeHaven still has a few timeouts to burn. We'll see what he wants to do here with 53 seconds to go, with his girls trailing by 9.
As we were talking about before, really they're bouncing right back tomorrow and giving an opportunity to not really keep the streak of losing alive, and they really want to turn this around and make the most of the season with the potential that they do. With very young leaders on this team, really Kat and only 2 other seniors, the team is very young, but trying to make every opportunity, as Battlefield would be losing, or is losing, a very strong and key component to their success this year, which is Kat Jenks.
Jenks on that offensive chance forgot the basketball on the entry, so that's why the Bobcats had to foul back the other way. The Knights will shoot at the line. That one by Ferris would not fall, and that all but puts this thing away. We won't speculate too much on that. You never know what can happen here in the final seconds. And this free throw is able to fall, so the lead back up to 11. Jenks inbounds it quickly to Julia Mitchell. And the Bobcats really needing a triple here. To Champe coming along the baseline on a bounce from Miller. Sophia can't hit that one. Gets her own rebound, blocked up high on the shot. And we actually have 29 seconds to work, so we'll get the time right here in these final seconds. Every second is important to the potential looking dim now comeback for the Bobcats. Every second matters. As Sophia Miller heads to the line here for two. And as she heads to the line here, we've mentioned it all night, the free throw shooting for Battlefield has been their Achilles heel really all night. But Miller able to contradict that and make that shot there. But free throw shooting, if the Bobcats even could make half of the ones that they've missed, I mean, this game would be a lot tighter here in the closing minutes.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I was actually very surprised on how Battlefield looked to push the ball inside and give it to Sophia Miller. Well, really, even though it is more of a high percentage shot, could have taken the three and get more points with their opportunity and changed the whole aspect of the way this game could have finished.
Mitchell quickly fouls Elle Favis, so now she heads to the line. A 9-point lead for John Champe. Will now have the potential of being increased here with these shots coming for her. Sophia Miller checks in as Julia Mitchell will have a seat. And 25 seconds to go. A 9-point deficit. We'll see what can happen here. You know, they've got to hit a three, you would think, here in these closing seconds to make this thing a little bit tighter. And Favis can't hit on the first, so could maybe see off this chance, if it misses, a potential timeout by Battlefield as Campe has a seat. Monroe Bryant heads back out there. She's been a great three-point shooter for Battlefield, but none from her tonight. As we mentioned, only 3 3-pointers for the Bobcats tonight. Favis hits on that one, so the Knights reach the 60-point mark, and now Monroe takes it up the court. The Bobcats needing points. Bryant has to move it. Inside now from Miller. Nice move to step in. She can't finish her layup. And Galeza on the rebound spins it off the glass and in. Battlefield cuts it back to 8. And we'll get the time caught up here. Looks like 7 seconds to go here at John Champe. They'll head back to the line. And this thing looks all but wrapped up here, as it looks like the Bobcats will fall here to their district rival, the John Champe Knights. Stick around with us. We're going to go to a little bit of a break. It won't be aired, but then at 7:30, we're going to have the boys' game coming up for you guys. Matt Venezia and Nathan George will be back on the air with you guys. And the Knights able to hit this first try. Hopefully the boys can brighten up tonight's set of streams with a win, as it looks like the girls are going to fall short here against the Knights.
Yeah, both teams coming off a very long winter break, and I bet that plays a big role in both teams' mindsets and physical abilities, and really just didn't go Battlefield's way tonight, and I bet that just be a big reason why.
2 seconds to go. Let's see what the Bobcats want to do with the last chance opportunity for some points. On a bounce, Jenks at the horn, puts it in. And now we want to see last second. Jenks falls down. Looks like she hurt her knee there at literally the final seconds. And she's slow to get out. That is literally the last thing you want to see here, as Jenks will be tended to. And we'll move the camera there for that. Not a good ending here for Battlefield, as the Bobcats fell. But more importantly, Jenks here injured on the play as she was able to make the shot at the horn. And the Bobcats will head to the locker room. So that's it for us here in the booth. We'll let you know once the guys' game gets going how Kat Jenks is feeling. Obviously, you do not want to see that. That's your star senior. As she's now getting to her feet on a limp. No pressure at all on her right leg. Not what you want to see. But from everyone here for our first stream of the night, Matt Venezia, Nathan George here on the commentary, Tommy Seiss helping us out with some pictures down on the floor, and Emma Thomas up here in the booth with the camera work. We'll be back in a little bit for some boys basketball, but until then, we are signing off here at John Champe.